For this one, trying to tie this parallel and perpendicular stuff together, a carpenter is building a stair stringer. And a stair stringer is basically the support pieces that are under your steps. There are probably at least three of them, one on each side and one in the middle. And that's what your kind of steps lay on top of, okay? And that's what holds it up and holds the weight as you walk up and down the steps. That's what a stair stringer is. They use 45-degree angles for each cut. Explain how you know each step will be perpendicular to the face of the stair, and explain how you know each step will be parallel to the next step. Okay? And those are important things. You know, we don't want steps that are coming off at weird angles. We want to make sure that the rise is perpendicular to the run of the steps. In other words, the piece going up is perpendicular to the horizontal piece of the step. Okay? We also want to make sure that all of our steps are parallel to one another, because if they're not, if these things are all at different angles, I'm going to end up tripping and falling as I go up and down these steps. Okay? So here's kind of what that looks like. And so I've drawn a kind of a bigger picture of this thing and then zoomed in on it. If I look over here at the bigger picture, basically this is a piece of wood, and that red mark is what the carpenter is cutting. So you can see that after they kind of remove all these pieces, all right, we'll have this thing that looks like a set of steps, okay? And that will be the support for my stairs, all right? And so as I zoom in on one of those pieces, because I just want to show that right here that one of these guys, that the top of each step is perpendicular to that to the face of the stairs, okay? And I also want to prove that all of these steps are parallel to one another, okay? Because I don't want them all at different angles. That would be a real issue, all right? So as I zoom in on this thing, here's the zoomed in version, just looking at a couple of these cuts. It basically said that each of these is a 45-degree angle, so the carpenter measures a 45-degree angle here, and they measure a 45-degree angle here. Okay? Which means also that on the next one here, it's a 45-degree angle here. So it's just a bunch of 45-degree angles. I want to show, basically, that this is a 90-degree angle. Okay? And the way I show that is I kind of look at this thing and say, okay, I want to show that the face of this thing, and I guess I didn't really need this one down here, but I want to show that the face of this stair is perpendicular to the part that I'm going to step on, and that's important, okay? I don't want things jutting out that I trip on them. And so as you look at this thing, this whole thing right here forms a line, okay? And so if that piece forms a line, I just have to think about what's happening here. I have three pieces, 1, 2, 3, and all three of those angles together should equal 180 degrees. Okay, this is my segment addition. And so as I look at this thing, I've got two 45-degree angles with another angle in between. I'll call it X. And see, I want to show that this angle right here is 90 degrees. All of them added together should equal 180 degrees. So now I simplify this thing. So here we go. I add these together. That's 90 degrees right here. And now I subtract the 90. And the other way to look at this is I could have just done it kind of by guess and check. This didn't ask me to solve for that. It wanted me to prove that this was 90 degrees, and turns out that it is, okay? And an easy way to prove that this is 90 degrees, well, we know that this whole thing has to add up to 180. So throw a 90 degrees here and say, hey, look at it. When you add all three of these pieces together, all three of these pieces equal 180 degrees, okay? And there's no other angle that would work there to give me 180 degrees. So because of the fact that I have a 180 degree angle, I have a line here, and I have two 45-degree angles, angle addition shows me that this thing has to be a 90-degree angle. So there's my proof that this thing is a 90 degrees. And now think about duplicating that result over and over and over again. You know, if I could prove that this piece right here was 90 degrees, well, that means I can do the same thing here. I can show that this one's 90 degrees, and this one's 90 degrees. All through angle addition, this next one is 90 degrees, this next one is 90 degrees. And so now the question is, how can I prove that each of the stairs is parallel to the next stair? Well, remember, parallel lines go off at the same angle. And when you look at these, all of these are going off at the same angle. They're all going off at an angle of 90 degrees. And since each of these has an angle of 90 degrees to the face, it means all of those lines have to be parallel, okay? This guy has to be parallel to this guy because it's heading off at the same angle, all right? They're all going at an angle of 90 degrees from the face, all right? And so because they all have the same angle, all those lines are parallel, all right?